my co-moderator, rapporteur, Her Royal Highness Princess Shepi Motlung, Secretary General of YouthGether Global. Good morning from the USA. I don't know if it's evening where you are.
Thank you so much, Doctor. It is afternoon here. It's awesome. Exactly 4:35. So good morning on your side. Good afternoon in Africa and India.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes, thank you so much.
And if you are joining us, let us know where you are joining us from. Type it in the chat we have there. We would like to know where you are joining us from. We also welcome our YouthGether Global chapters from around the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let us know where you are joining us from. Would love to know where you are joining us from. Nigeria, I see you, Jumoke Ajibade. Thank you for joining us. So what has 1 year YouthGether Global looked like? It's been an amazing time. YouthGether Global, engaging generation, youth, and the decade of action in post-COVID recovery. So what has 1 year looked like for us? I see you from Medford, New York. I see you from Kenya. Awesome. 1 year of YouthGether Global in our YouthGether Yield program, Youth Innovation, Entrepreneurship, Leadership, and Development. We've had 1 year of YouthGether Global Basketball Team, YouthGether Global Enterprise, Differentiation, and Innovation in Tourism and Hospitality, Edith. YouthGether Global Women in Integrated Vocations and Entrepreneurship Schemes. I see you, South Africa. I see you, Liberia. Welcome. I see you from Germany. We've got YouthGether Global of the CCEL project, which is the CCEL, the Social Emotional Learning Project. We've had 1 year YouthGether Global Youthism, Global Awareness and Campaign and Advocacy. We have inaugurated globally YouthGether 7 chapters. We have had the opportunity to participate in the YouthGether Global ECOSOC Youth Forum and YouthGether Global Model United Nations. Very active year for us. So we welcome you once again. We're excited to have you with us. And this is event 1 of 2 events. We have got 2 events. We've got the one today, and we've got the one on Monday, which is going to be celebrating the Day of the Girl Child, the United Nations Day of the Girl Child. So if you're joining us today, here's what you can look forward to. We're going to be looking at the YouthGether Global Chapter exhibition and presentation. We're going to get a report of the YouthGether Global chapters. We're going to have an inaugural speech and inauguration of the new YouthGether Global chapters. We're going to have their leaders share their mission. And then we're going to have the vision, mandate, and YouthGether Global next level. Already a very action-packed day. I hope you are ready to roll with us, ready to ride with us, ready to walk with us today. I see you from South Africa again, Her Royal Highness Princess Gaboliwe. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for wherever you are joining us from around the world. And we're going to go straight into the program today. And we're going to call upon our YouthGether Global Governing Council Chairman, His Royal Highness Prince Dr. Osita Aniemeka, who is going to give us the call to the first anniversary and YouthGether Global. Welcome, Your Excellency. You're on mute. You're still on mute.
Okay.
Awesome. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Your Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Diane Kinoli. Your Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Adel Kika, my Chancellor. I saw His Excellency, Ambassador Saki. Is he still here? I honor you, for joining us, Your Excellency. And we thank you so very much for always being available when we call upon you. God bless you, Your Excellency. Now, listen to this because it is a story I like to tell, particularly when I deal with hope and the future. Air Commodore James Asiedo Anagie was a jet pilot. In a combat mission, his fighter jet plane was destroyed by a missile. He, however, ejected himself and parachuted safely. He won awards, acclaim, accord, and appreciation from everyone. After 5 years, one day he was sitting with his wife in a restaurant, and a man from under table walked up to him and said, "You are Captain Asiedo, right? You flew jet fighters, right? And you were shot down." The captain turned around and said, "Yes, of course, I am James Asiedo. How in the world did you know that?" "I packed your parachute," the man said, and smiled while he replied. Asiedo gasped in surprise and gratitude and stood up and hugged the man and thought, if that parachute hadn't worked, I wouldn't be here today. Asiedo couldn't sleep that night, thinking about the man, wondered how many times he might have seen him and not even said good morning, how are you, or anything else, because he was a fighter pilot and that person was just a safety worker. Your Excellencies, Your Highnesses, the Chancellor, esteemed Governing Council members, distinguished country directors of YOUTHGETHER Global, extremely revered ladies and gentlemen, we are honored at YOUTHGETHER Global to be packing global parachutes. We started packing these parachutes for the last 1 year, and we have done exceedingly well by our standards because everyone needs someone who provides what they need to make it through life. And that is what we are doing at YOUTHGETHER Global. We need many kinds of parachutes. When your plane goes down, physical parachutes, mental parachutes, emotional parachutes, spiritual parachutes, and even financial parachutes. So we call on all of these supports before reaching to safety. And that's what we've been doing at YOUTHGETHER Global in the last 365 days. I welcome you all to this very all-important program for us. Important in 2 ways. On the day of first mention of YOUTHGETHER Global on August 12, 2020, we did dream that someday in the coming weeks, we'll be formally inaugurated and launched. And on October 11 in 2020, we were eventually inaugurated. And ever since then, we've been working day and night. We've been toiling with candles and bush lamps. We've been doing everything possible to make sure that the youth of the world find themselves in the decade of action for the next 10 years. So what have we done so far? YOUTHGETHER Global has been able to establish programs and projects that have wowed onlookers and also engineered some commitment and boldness in the lives of young people all over the world. What we did was to say to ourselves that any country that came first will be the country that will determine the region that will work first. So when Kenya came up first, we started with Africa as a region. We've touched all regions of the world. Betting new chapter, and today you will find out which other countries have been inaugurated. Now, first and foremost, we have launched the Youth Innovation, Entrepreneurship, Leadership, and Leadership Development into entrepreneurship to other countries in Africa. We have engineered our young people to be involved in what we call the enterprise differentiation and innovation. Global youth are using this opportunity to invite everybody from far and near to come to Africa. And in doing that, they become tour guides, they become hospitality managers, and they become the compass. What we call YouthGether global progressors. This is a collection of young and athletic men and women who have become basketball team for the initiative. So the YouthGether global basketball team in Abuja is one of our pride positions, and we're very proud of them. Next, we have launched what we call the YouthGether Global Wives. These are women in trade in different auto mechanics for women. They include agro, allied, poultry, farming, piggery farming, fishery, snaring, and so on and so forth. We have done this because we know that for us to be successful, youth and women go together. And women have become one of our focal points that have made us so proud of what we're doing in the last 1 year. Now, the most important part of our program is our involvement in the ECOSOC program of the United Nations. The Youth Forum of ECOSOC was celebrated by YouthGether before. The CSEL project came to the fore, and we used the opportunity to create the post-ECOSOC program, which was a stream of training for 5 Saturdays. And these 5 Saturdays were clear indication that our young people were willing, ready, and available to take the next steps into developing their different countries. And then for the Mother Tongue Day, YouthGether Global developed what we call Language Without Borders, where it is possible for you to go places, learning other languages. And now we have taken time to establish the Global Awareness Program for our YouthGether. YouthGether is the name of our young people. They are citizens of YouthGether Global. So these YouthGethers now all over Africa, particularly from Kenya, South Africa, and Sierra Leone, the 3 countries that have been inaugurated so far, they have been using the opportunities of bringing them together to show the world what young people can do. We are very proud of the United Nations, and we have been able to attach ourselves to all to make it possible for our girl child, for global girl child, to become digitally active, to become a master of Internet of Things, and to look at work tomorrow as it's not looked at today. I want to thank you all very much for listening, and welcome once again to YouthGether Global celebration of the Day of the Girl Child and the 1-year anniversary of the initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for that introduction and taking us back to the work that YouthGether Global has done over the last 1-year period. Princess Shepi, are you with us? Okay, next up, we're going to have Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Ada Okika, YOUTHGETHER Global Governing Council
Your Royal Highness Champion.
Visionary, and our leader. We are so honored to have you as you take us through the vision and rise of YOUTHGETHER Global. You are welcome.
Thank you, Ambassador. You look diplomat today. I wasn't able to recognize you, you know. So thank you, everyone. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of us. And happy first anniversary of YOUTHGETHER Global. It is so much, it gladdens my heart to know that we're already 1 year old. This is a vision that came up when the Secretary General made a call to declare the decade of action on the 2030 agenda. He called on initiatives and programs that could enable us achieve the 17 SDGs and 169 targets before 2030. And by then it was remaining just 10 years, 5 years had already gone, remaining 10 years to the end of the 2030 agenda. And then I thought that wise that it's not just talking about sustainable development goals, it's not just making noise about it. Just as the MDG failed us because we were talking too much about the MDGs, now we learned a lesson when we brought in the SDGs to make sure that activities, action, engagements is able to be put in place so that we could achieve successes before the end of the 2030 agenda. So that ignited action in my thought. And then on August 12th last year, at the International Day of the Girl Child, we found it worthy to give birth to what we call YOUTHGETHER Global. Now, the essence is to engage youth as many as we can, to engage youth to the decade of action, to the global agenda. What do we mean by engaging youth? We come from 4 E's: education, entrepreneur, what other one? I do forget the 4 E's. So we came up with 4 E's to address, to join in engagement of the youth to the global agenda. Now, not only looking at that, we thought about leave no one behind. When the UN is talking about the development agenda, they said leave no one behind. And if the UN is at the apex house talking about development, sustainability, getting everybody involved, and then the youth need also to get involved, because the whole decade of action is all for everyone. Whether you are a president, whether you're a government, whether you're an ambassador, whatever you are, the youth and children are also involved. So that's also a reason that led us to get into the YOUTHGETHER Global. Again, we consider the pillars of development, the pillars of human personality. And then this is where we talk about learning to do, learning to be, learning to know, and learning to live together. How then do we get this together? And then we thought that the best thing is to get the younger generation involved, especially with the voice of the UN Youth Envoy's Office, that youth should wake up and realize that they are no longer leaders of tomorrow, but leaders of today. But we know that education is empowerment, education is power, education is development. And if we don't have a platform to give them education that can give them what they want, then we are not actually addressing the decade of action. So that is why we came out with YOUTHGETHER Global, engaging youth for the decade of action. And I'm proud to say that when this was launched, it ignited action for youth, and we began to see talents, inherent talent in them when we group them together. And that's so exciting. Their wisdom, their intellectual ability, their talents coming together, bringing up ideas, getting excited, being interested in getting involved. So that becomes another excitement. And then the foundations came up, that Center for SDG Global Education, Sub-Saharan Open University, and His Royal Highness Chindo Yamusa Foundation II. Chindo Yamusa, the second foundation. We came up to design this program of what we have today. So I must say congratulations to these three organizations for this initiative. And I must thank the youth, Africa, youth in Caribbean, youth in Germany, Asia, and I think Netherlands, Europe, for the excitement of coming together, understanding that this is for them and it's for their own benefit. And they didn't look sideways to be able to put themselves to doing a lot of activities in the communities, going to rural communities to ignite action to the youth. So it becomes very, very interesting that actually something can be done. One seed can grow into a mustard seed, and then people will begin to pluck from it. So it was an encouragement. And then from the organizations that ignited action, some people were reached out and they accepted to be the members of the governing council. And I'm so proud to appreciate His Excellency Prince Dr. Ositani Emeka, Her Excellency Dan Kinoli, Mary Kurek, Her Excellency Teresa Martins, Her Excellency Laila Rahul from all the way from Dubai, Amaka Agulwe from United States of America, Fawad Langa from Pakistan, Her Royal Highness Princess Bishepi from South Africa. Who am I missing? So all these we are brainstorming, coming together to address the reposition the YOUTHGETHER within this 1 year. We had issue, just as Dr. Osemera has said, Anemera has said about the get together. We started by getting to know each other, understanding what we are, exploring the talents of these youth. And we found out a lot of them are into research, writing, presentation, good motivational speakers, good presenters. They have ideas to coordinate and organize. I say, wow, that is engaging them for the decade of action. So it has been a long 1 year of vision and dream that has come true. And I'm much more grateful to our advisors, His Excellency Ambassador Dennis Antoine, His Excellency Ambassador Usman Saki, always there whenever we knock at his door. He doesn't even look at whether it is enough time or no time. These two have been so wonderful in trying to help us reposition the YOUTHGETHER Global. We talk about Ishmael Dudu, a UN ambassador, who is also instrumental to designing the entrepreneurial education for this YOUTHGETHER Global. So I can't thank a lot of people more than enough. We have them, and they're ready to help. A lot of them were there to help us, even the Permanent Secretary for Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Aduda, the Special Advisor to President of Nigeria on Sports, on youth. You're all supportive. So we have so much to address and learn. The only thing we can say is that whenever it comes to youth, I know when I was growing up, it wasn't easy growing up. I know parents are always eager, my daughter, my son, they're not trying to make us perfect. And I have been so passionate about the youth in communities. Last night, I was sharing with His Excellency Ambassador what I did as a girl under 19 years old when I was in Government Girls Secondary School, Bama Chibok Girls, enacting a science club for the students. And every Wednesday, we will go from one end to the other, trying to address getting students to understand what is science is. So these were rural communities. As a young girl, and I know all of us are young as youth, and then you have the skills in you that when given a platform to operate, you will engage adequately to ensure that the future we are looking for is sustainable, is sustained for all of us. So I don't want to take more time that the vision of YouthGether Global is really a vision to contribute to the development of humanity from the age of the teenage age to the 29 years. And we have been doing it successfully without looking back, without considering personal gains and benefits. It has been a moment of volunteering, moment of sacrificing, moment of commitment, moments of devotion that we must realize this. And time is now that at this first anniversary, the child has started growing and we cannot go back. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the chapters, the Sierra Leone chapter, the Kenya chapter, the South Africa chapter that had set the pace to ignite. In fact, they have given back to 4 new chapters that are going to be inaugurated today. And I appreciate you all. Whatever, all the things you are doing in the communities, trying to replant and reposition yourself, bringing youth together. One more important thing is that we, whether you are a youth or an adult or a child or parents or father or mother, we need a platform to operate. And that is what we have succeeded in doing. I thank Dr. Osita for being the man among the father, the man, the father, the leader, everything among us, trying to coordinate and make sure that everything is at peace. And we want to thank all of you for your support. I want to thank His Excellency Ambassador Saki Usman for all his support. And we cannot thank you enough. All I know to tell you that we are Oliver Twist, and we shall continue to want more whenever it's necessary to get to you. God bless you all, and happy first anniversary, YouthGether Global. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for that wonderful reminder of just how far we have come and where we have come from. So Princess Shepi, if you're here, I would like to bring you on screen if that's okay. So again, we have 7 nations represented here joining us to celebrate this 1-year anniversary. If you are joining us, we're seeing you coming in. Let us know where you are joining us from. So Princess Shepi, we have South Africa represented, we have Nigeria's in the house, Kenya's in the house, the USA is represented in the house, Uganda, we see you, Germany and Liberia, we see you. So let us know where you are joining us from. And we are very glad to have you with us. Say it again.
UK is in the house, and I think
the UK is in the house. Awesome.
I think Belize is in the house as well.
Belize is in the house. Awesome. So 9 nations already. We are so glad to have you be with us as we celebrate the 1-year anniversary of YouthGether Global, engaging youth in the decade of action. So, Princess Shepi, I think this next section is one of the most important sections in this event we're having today. we're going to get to hear from three new, from Kenya, we're going to get to hear from South Africa, we're going to get to hear from Sierra Leone, that have already been inaugurated YOUTHGETHER global chapters. And the awesome thing is that we're going to have you moderate the session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to you and let you lead this next session. Welcome, Your Royal Highness Princess Shepi. Over to you.
Yeah, before the princess starts, we want to recognize and welcome an international girl child advocate. In fact, I arrested her early this morning at 4 a.m. Dr. Mairo Mandara, and she's just here in our midst.
Welcome. We welcome you.
Thank you.
Dr. Mairo Mandara, I see you. I see you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the warm welcome.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So over to you, Princess Shepi. Welcome, YOUTHGETHER Global Governing Council member, Mary Kurek. Welcome, good to see you. Over to you, Princess Shepi, to lead this next session.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Amanda, and thank you for bringing me on your table. I was really behind the door. You know, when in the room, you sit behind the door just watching as everything is unfolding. So I wasn't aware that I was going to come on your table right so early. Thank you so much. I know that I have seen Cornelius. Can we then be helped to have our chapter representatives that are here to be brought on the center stage, please, so that then we can have that conversation with them. Ambassador Cornelius, I can see you. He is from Kenya, am I correct? And then Sierra Leone, if you are here, if you can be brought on the stage, please. South Africa. I've been trying to scroll through to see if we have them. Can they please be brought on the stage? Sierra Leone, South Africa, and Kenya.
Kenya is on the 40. We can't find South Africa yet, and we can't find Al Hassan yet from Sierra Leone. So,
yes.
And they have been so prepared for this program. So
okay.
I was very prepared for this. Yeah, I guess it's connectivity problem. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Ada, if we can add whoever is here now, if we can add them into the screen for the conversation, that would be great.
Yes,
Cornelius.
Cornelius. So okay. Cornelius and I, we are going to have a very wonderful conversation. Cornelius, you have all the time, you know, make use of it, promote yourself, promote your chapter. You have East Africa that already are wanting to hear more what you are doing to join you. So use this opportunity, say, please come on board, join us on the table.
Thank you for this wonderful invitation, and I'm so much impressed. I'm so much excited. We have been journeying together, and I'm so much honored. Our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ada Okika, and Princess, Your Royal Highness Osita, I'm so much honored to speak to you about today when we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary. Actually, it is 1-year anniversary for me personally as a Kenyan chapter coordinator. I really want to say that everybody who is here, it is so much of a privilege. It is so much of a wonderful occasion to have united together all this long. As Kenyan chapter, and maybe the coordinator who has spoken for the first time for the inaugurated chapters, on behalf of my fellow coordinators all over the globe, I would like to say that we are humbled for the opportunity of giving us to serve as chapter coordinators. And in my country, I say that the little youth I've gathered around are passionate, are promising, and have developed a positive change since we joined this organization, and we are championing for the achievement of the 17 SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. Personally, I have organized with my teams. We are having an educational and academic empowerment industry that we are working with around in my country, trying to bring on board to embrace education among youth. You find out that I, being a university student, almost, I'm a fourth year student of education. You find out that when we go back to our villages, you find out that most of those who are never given, who never got the opportunity to go to school, engage themselves in illicit activities that hinders them from performing what purpose of life is meant. You find out that they're the ones committing crimes. So we are working around empowering youth to take academics serious, because it is only through academics that, when I remember the late president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, said that education is the only equalizer that can bring you on board, on the table, to celebrate with the kings, to dine with the kings. So we are here, we need to be educated, and we are so much appreciate. Sorry, it is about network. Somebody was calling. But I was saying that we shall journey together. We shall listen to you. We shall do whatever you direct us to do. And I hope that as chapter coordinators and the coming chapters, we are going to work together to bring on board all that the decade of action calls upon. Thank you so much, Your Royal Highness Princess Debbie. Thank you.
Brilliant. That is so wonderful. I like that. Education is also my passion. And if we can just hold it on there, I still believe that out of all the 16 SDGs, once we get the education one right, all of others, I believe they will fall into place so well. Not that I'm how do I say, nullifying or decreasing their value, but I just believe that once we can, lock in the education side of things, and also just to add on the quote that you have said as well from our Tata Mandela as well, he also said that education is transformational. That once, we know that even in the prisoners or prisons, when they do the rehabilitation, them more skills, new skills, so that when they come out, they are now people who value themselves and also be those that can add value into the communities. So I love that. I love the programs that you have already implemented, and there is going to be more. Tell us now, there is more youth there, as I do know definitely that we have invited new people that are coming from East Africa that are wanting to know how can they engage you. So if there is any email details or where you are found, so that they can engage you more and see how they can bring hands together. Remember, the sustainable goal number 17 is about collaboration. It's about partnership. And I do believe that the success of this decade of action is going to be in how we collaborate, how we work together. It is the new competition of our humanitarian work. Thank you so much. Is there anything new that you'd like to add, or what can we envisage now henceforth, going from now into 2022? Do we have our aspirations? What would you like to see or achieve? Did you hear me, Cornelius?
Come again, please. Thank you.
how can we help you? What are your goals for 2021 into 2022? So that next year when we come to celebrate this anniversary, the second year, then we can say this is how far we have moved. You have done a tremendous work. Very, very well done. So now what do you envisage for the coming year so that you can also pull us in so that we can be able to help you? I am so looking forward to landing in Ghana, in Kenya. It's going to be very, very soon, I do believe before Christmas. So, but us as the council, we have the father, our Dr. Osita, and who is very passionate about all of the youth work. What do you want to see? How can we help you? What are your goals for the coming year?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the second opportunity, my princess. I will say that you are so much welcome to my country, Kenya. And I will be so much pleased personally to welcome you when you land in here. As you have said, actually, I am still a very ambitious young man. And as far as I am concerned and my fellow youths are concerned, everybody has ambitions. All of us have great ambitions, but normally we don't bring them on board. I would like to say that according to me, my ambitions have always been those of leadership. I would like to take in leadership skills that will enable me to transform the lives of almost everybody. It can't be everybody, but almost everybody in the society. In terms of, let me say, I like dealing with education because, I am a teacher. I must say something about academics. So it is only through education that our individuals will know that actually we are meant to do great. We are meant to be people of substance than what we are. We have to go to school. We have to take everybody to school. Let's assist even those who are unable to go to school gain these chances of getting education. For example, when we were hit by the pandemic, coronavirus, most of the students dropped out of school. So it is my ambition that we are going to revisit this. We are going to sit down, have a dialogue, and see how best we can help these particular youths continue their education. And as far as YOUTHGETHER is concerned, I would like to urge the governing council to chip in to help me in my country and in the other countries, chapters who have been inaugurated, effect this act and help those individuals, those youths who have dropped out of school, but still have the urge to continue with their education. Secondly, about achieving the gender balance of the Sustainable Development Goals, let us empower the girl child. Let us give girl child a chance to demonstrate leadership. I like that the fact that here, YOUTHGETHER, those who are leading us are ladies. Congratulations to you. Kudos. I like that, Princess Debbie. This is a challenge to us, but it is our empowerment. I would like to to realize that in my country, ladies are taking in leadership roles. We have never had any president who has been a lady. We have not had a vice president who has been a lady. But I would like to bring on board ladies to this empowerment. As we leave this webinar or this meeting here, I am going to share with my chancellor a group of individuals, youths, who have given, they have volunteered. I say that as youths, the problem with us is that we don't volunteer. We are so much into looking for money, asking for money, instead of volunteering, so that we can get the knowledge that will get us directly to money. We know money is a factor. It is what changes the world, but we have to go to it through processes. Let's volunteer. I like this because I have been volunteering since I was invited to this YOUTHGETHER global organization by my former chapter coordinator. And I'm so much into it. I would like to urge everybody who is here that you never give up. Let's continue working together so that our ambitions, our dreams are nourished and sharpened so that we can achieve them simultaneously. Thank you.
Great, so well said, and I like that part. So what I'm hearing is, I think we all have taken notes, and even as the Governing Council, what we are hearing is that you need more empowerment into, I think our moderator, Dr. Diane, is very much involved in that, if I'm not mistaken. She conducted such a wonderful training for us on leadership. So that is correct. Leadership, one can never say you have learned enough, and particularly at this age. So we all are to be people that self-develop at all times, you know. So that is great. I like that, what you have said. And to be developed on the leadership skills and self-mastery. I do believe that it's one in the short journey that I've been working with the youth, it is so much needed. The self-mastery is usually, we can take it from academic and then also bring it into practicality, where we get to be meshed with one of our mentors, one of us, where we are mentoring all these coordinators working together. And that way we get to really have that alignment and in sync of working together. In that way as well, I do believe that is the only way we are able to have me to shift. When it's time for me to retire, we know that Cornelius is already there, or Tembi is already there, you know what, to brush me off, and then I can be able to be the globetrotter, knowing very much that I have replicated myself. So I think that can work very well with all the chapters and with all our advisors, with all our counselors as well. I hear you. I'm hoping that I'm interpreting it very well. Mentorship and coaching as well. It's what needs to happen, and on ongoing basis as well, and not only on the youth that you are talking about, but also even on yourself, so that it can be practical. Thank you so much. Gender, generation equality. This is the decade that also, or even a year, I think we are speaking about generation equality, and I'm glad that you are also aligned to that goals or those objectives. Certainly, we are going to be seeing more, and we are going to be pulling more of the women. And we do hope that at some point there can be a country that can have a woman president in Africa, more than one, actually, if we can have just more than one. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Cornelius. Thank you for all that.
Princess Shepi, thank you for moderating such a great session. Cornelius, thank you for what you have let us know. It is so good to hear what you are looking to. And so we really appreciate that. John Maxwell, who is one of my mentors, says this: everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Whether you do well, it is going to go back to how you have led. Whether you don't do well, it goes back to how well or not so well you have led. So with that in mind, I like some of what you mentioned. Here's one thing that I will always tell youth and any young person: do not wait for permission to lead. Figure out what you are good at and begin to develop yourself as a leader in that particular thing. Do not try and do too many things. Figure out what you are exceptionally gifted in, and then begin to develop yourself. Over the next 10 years, what we are calling the decade of action, self-leadership is the most important thing and the best work you can ever do for us and for yourself. Develop yourself to lead in your community, in your nation, and for the world. Okay, so awesome session. I like the key the key points that were in there. I just want to reset the room really quickly. You are joining us today for the 1-year anniversary of YOUTHGETHER Global. We are passionate about engaging the youth in the decade of action. We want better leaders, and just like Princess Shepi mentioned, we are only here for a period of time, and next it is you. You're going to take on the baton, if you like, and keep running. But here's one thing that we are going to do for you as YOUTHGETHER Global. We're going to make room for you to lead alongside us and to learn alongside us. I am reminded of what the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, said. And this is the one call that he had to everybody concerning the youth. And this was on the International Day of the Youth. This is what he said. I urge everyone to guarantee young people a seat at the table as we build a world based on inclusive, fair, and sustainable development for all. So the call is this: where are you sitting today? Who has put you there is a really key thing for you to figure out, because whosoever has put you there because there is something unique about you. Or perhaps they have put you there because they are limiting you from moving on. So it's really key to be absolutely clear. Where am I sitting at, and who has put me here? Does it align with the way I am exceptionally, I am exceptionally talented to lead over the next 10 years? It's so key. And so the work we're doing here is, how are we preparing you to lead now for our tomorrow? And without too much delay, I want to welcome His Royal Highness, the YOUTHGETHER Governing Council Chairman, Prince Dr. Osita, to introduce our next guest, who is our keynote for this next session.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. This is really very beautiful. You have steered this boat to a very exciting position. I want to say that the following countries are here. Before I invite His Excellency, I want to say that I'm very proud to have worked with 5 countries, and happily I am sure that 4 of them are here, because South Sudan has an engagement that might, disallow him from attending. But we have Liberia, we have Nigeria, we have United Kingdom, and we have Zambia. Ladies and gentlemen, for the inaugural speech and presentation of the inauguration of the new chapters, I want to invite our Ambassador Extraordinaire, His Excellency Usman Sarki, former Deputy Permanent Representative of Nigeria to the United Nations, New York, and today, Global Advisor for YOUTHGETHER Global. Also, His Excellency is a top echelon staff of the Nigerian Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in the Plateau. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome His Excellency Ambassador Usman Sarki.
Thank you very much, Prince Osita Nemeka, for this very warm and touching introduction. Let me, first of all, also thank our distinguished moderators for their very able anchoring and handling of these proceedings. Our dear Chancellor, Dr. Ada Okika, Prince Osita Nemeka, the Honorable Nasir Said Adhama, Senior Special Assistant to the President of Nigeria on Youth and Students Affairs, Dr. Mairo Mandara, CEO, Girl Child Concerns Nigeria, the youth of the world, and all other participants who have joined us today. I have been asked or given the privilege to speak on the topic in engaging generation youth for the decade of action in post-COVID-19 recovery. This is indeed a very important subject that should inspire hope and confidence, not only in the youth, but entire communities and countries about the possibility of regaining our lives after COVID-19. So let me very warmly and enthusiastically welcome you all to this global event. It gives me great pleasure to be invited to participate alongside all of you and to inaugurate the new chapters of the YOUTHGETHER global campaign and post-COVID-19 recovery. I'm especially elated that I am speaking to a diverse range of interests and stakeholders that have linked up to follow this inaugural event. Let me therefore, on behalf of the organizers of the event, thank all of you for coming on board and for deciding to make a difference in the fortunes of the young people everywhere in the world. If there is anything that makes the world united and connected, it is not more because of artificial technology driven by factors like ICT and telephony, but it is due largely to the disposition of the youth to belong to one global family. Technology is a neutral factor that has neither empathy nor sympathy. It is our own feelings and dispositions towards one another that make connectivity so important and so central to the merger and intermingling of the world community into one family. Youth play a central role, even a critical one, in this effort by their dynamism, forward-looking attitudes, and their readiness to embrace change and allocate spaces for themselves towards making their communities and environments better places than they found them. Their ready adaptation and flexible tendencies towards technology, especially the use of the social media spaces and platforms, and their embracing of other opportunities like education and travel, makes it possible for them to perform the roles of bridge builders and harmonizers in a world that is being driven apart by income differentials, technological gaps, uneven social, cultural, and economic development, and the preponderance of global media ownership by certain parts of the world. It is the young people who are driving change now, and it is they who are bearing the burden of the consequences of change at the same time. This irony is clearly demonstrated by the episodical consequences of the COVID-19's outbreak and its global impact on societies and everything else in the past year or two. The restrictions imposed in many countries around the world profoundly impacted on the young, more perhaps than any other segment of societies. Their education was impaired and their freedoms were constrained by the necessity of combating this deadly virus outbreak. The freedoms of choice that they enjoyed hitherto were drastically curbed and the youth were forced to seek for solutions. With their flexible attitude and agile minds, the youth found different modes or forms of expression and occupation, be it at home or at the workplace, by adapting to the challenges of restrictions and finding new ways to engage socially and create new spaces and activities for themselves. The use of social media and other online facilities became the available means for contact and engagement across the divides created by the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the seeming resilience and persistence of the pandemic, the world is turning the curve and making strenuous efforts at overcoming this global threat. Youth will play a critical role in this initiative, particularly at the community levels where compliance with regulations and protocols are imperative. Young people in the medical and scientific communities are also helping to redefine what the word commitment means in terms of sacrifices that they have been called upon to make, both with regards to their time and mental outputs. My own daughter, who is a nurse, is among the caregivers and first responders in this global battle to prevail over this mass killer disease. We should applaud the youth everywhere for their commitment and selfless sacrifices in bearing the brunt of this pandemic. We should now arrange and organize our efforts towards ensuring a sustainable post-COVID-19 recovery initiatives in all our countries and communities, with the youth taking the center stage. Youth should be central to these efforts, whereby their energies, dedication, and patriotism can be called upon to help in reestablishing normalcy everywhere. Young people should study the vulnerabilities created by the pandemic and find ways and means for effective curtailment of such threats as the disruption of global supply chains, the limitations imposed on access to education, the constraints created in food supply and healthcare delivery, and many other deficiencies that have been exposed by the outbreak of the pandemic. Above everything else, the income differentials among regions and nations, for instance, underline the challenges, the great challenges facing the world in the full attainment of the UN SDGs that have to some extent been rolled back by the COVID-19 outbreak. Creating resilience and finding ways and means to bridge gaps in the global development scale is therefore one of the most serious challenges that face the youth today. Their adaptation and reaction and responses to the impacts of climate change and environmental degradation is another challenge that the youth must face after the COVID-19 pandemic must have been eliminated. Finally, let me salute the young people everywhere for their courage, determination, and fortitude, and for standing shoulder to shoulder with their governments and leaders in ensuring that the deadly COVID-19 pandemic is defeated and the world is returned to normalcy. God bless you all, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Ambassador Usman Sarki, for a wonderful keynote and call to action. I am going to hand back over to Dr. Osita for the next section of the program, which is the presentation of the new chapters, and we will have His Excellency Ambassador Usman Sarki, Advisor to YOUTHGETHER Global, inaugurate the new chapters. Over to you, Dr. Osita.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, and thank you so much, Ambassador Usman Sarki. You have done it again for us, and we're ever grateful to you for all you've been doing. For you, post-COVID-19 country initiatives are in the hands of our young people. And I want to introduce some young people to whom we are going to rely, to help us solve the problems of post-COVID-19.
Can the coordinators of new chapter come on video, please? Can they come on camera?
Out of Nigeria, out of Liberia, Manfred Malou. We have South Sudan, who unfortunately may not be here today because of emergencies, and we are bereaved. His name is Daniel Denga. We have Godwin Mugi from Zambia, and Ibas from United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce this brave young man who will be heading their countries for YOUTHGETHER. I have Manfred Mulba.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, thank you. Yes, well, who else is here? Godwin Mwinga, where are you? Show your faces. Otherwise, I'm very honored, I'm very privileged, volunteered to take the reins of leadership in their different countries to lead them to the decade of action. So we have Manfred Molba.
Okay, yes. Go ahead.
But we have Ina Ibas and we have Gordon Winger. Gentlemen, country chapters of YOUTHGETHER Global as they join the race for the decade of action.
Manfred Molba, I think we will begin with you.
Okay, yeah.
So it might be, you might be connected on two devices. Just turn one off.
Yes, I've done that already. I think it's much better now.
It is. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, firstly, I want to be so grateful to God for the opportunity afforded me today. You know, working with youth and as a youth is something that has blown my mind totally. Yeah, like I took the mantle of leadership since I was in the 6th grade. That was when God decided to use me to transform the life of youth across Africa, not just only in Liberia. And I've worked. I graduated from high school throughout my university, and also still working with youth. You know, this is something that Africa, we the youths in Africa fail to realize. The entire improvement to the next level of our continent lies on the youth greatly. Today, I would like to thank Glover for giving us this opportunity to ourselves, our country, and the world at large. There are a number of things that always come to mind when it comes to Africa. First, they have to do with education. The youth in Africa to move to the next level if we are to explode like other continents, like other countries. We should focus on what we call education, that of which is a key element to every society. Another thing we have is innovation, thinking about that is, what can you do for your continent? What can you do for your country? How do you work collaboratively? How do you partner with people to extend out your dreams, to move out things? Because let's take, for example, if we are working as just a continent or just a country, we now work this out perfectly. But if we as youth can come from a different part of Africa to build a strong team to move forward, we would definitely exceed to the next level. So I have a mission for this chapter, of which our chapter will work on successfully in becoming or lifting our youth gather global with no extinction, with high improvement that we all can admire and work together.
Thank you so much, Manfred.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Can I go ahead now? I just want to outline some of my mission for this year. I work on
Please,
Yeah.
Can you do it in 60 seconds? And please remind us where you are from.
No, they're not inaugurated yet.
Okay.
Please.
You will do that after you've been inaugurated. Okay.
Sure.
Awesome. Please, please remind us where you are from. Which is
I'm from Liberia. I'm from
okay,
Liberia.
so that's YOUTHGETHER Global Liberia. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Godwin. Tell us where you are joining us from, and let us get to know a little bit about you in 60 seconds, if you can. Welcome.
Yeah. Are you able to get me?
Yes, we are.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, your excellence, your ambassadors, I'm actually grateful to be part of this UC Global, also as UC Global Zambia. Actually, we want to actually work together with this organization actually to actually gather youth for the decade. Actually, I'm happy to be part of this movement. Actually, we'll continue actually working together. Also, as the Republic of Zambia, we are going to actually gather youth together. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Godwin. Thank
you so much.
Yes. Yes. Isa bin Mohammed, please let us know where you are joining us from and what your YOUTHGETHER Global chapter is going to be.
Well, good afternoon from this part of Nigeria. I'm joining from Nigeria.
Okay.
My name is Isa, as you earlier mentioned. I'm a teacher. I have both an undergraduate and a master's degree in political science, and I teach at the university here. I will be gathering youths together in Nigeria and hoping that we can re-engineer the thinking of our very many young people. I want to believe that as we're all aware that Nigeria has probably the largest youth population on the continent, of course, looking at our population. And we would hope to be able to bring these diverse young people together. Of course, that with our current predicaments, we hope that we can bring these people together so that we will forge ahead and build a better country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isa. That is YOUTHGETHER Global Nigeria. And now we have Eno Ibas. Please let us know what your YOUTHGETHER Global chapter is, where it's going to be located. And we'd just like to hear a little bit about you in 60 seconds before we move on to the next section of inaugurating you. Eno, you might be on mute. Oh, you're not actually able to join. I don't see your microphone. Please do this really quickly. Log out and log back in. We don't see the option for your microphone right now. So let me bring Princess Shepi back on screen for 2 seconds. I'm going to add you into the pin. And so Princess Shepi, being a youth yourself and having been part of YOUTHGETHER Global, what is the best advice that you would give these new YOUTHGETHER Global leaders we're getting to inaugurate from Liberia, from Zambia, from Nigeria, and the UK when Eno gets back in?
Thank you very much for that compliment. Yes, thank you. you so much. Congratulations to all that are going to be coming on board. What I can say to them is what I have noticed as well, and what has made all of us probably as we're sitting here is the listening and coming in and knowing that humility is not really to say that you are a doormat. It's not really to say that you don't know anything. And I'm quite impressed to hear that Isa comes with a master's. But whenever you come into the new organization or the new room or the new table, it is always good to listen, be a sponge, absorb, and then also ask critical questions. The Africa that we want now to see is the Africa of critical thinkers, the leaders that are going to be asking critical thinking, critical questions, so that able to bring the solutions that we've never seen. As we are saying, this is the decade of action. We have seen, we have failed, we need improvement. And we are believing, as the other young people have been saying, the energy that you are bringing, it must be that youthful energy, the new energy. So know that there is no question that is off the table. But as long as it is productive, as long as it's going to be bringing progress, probably I think with those two qualities, if we bring them on the table, we are closer to getting the Africa that we want. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Awesome. Eno, if you can hear me, could you please log out and log back in? We would love to hear from you. I am going to invite Prince Dr. Osita to come back in and hand over to you for this next section.
Okay. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I am honored to present Nigeria, Liberia, Ambassador Usman Serki for inauguration. Your Excellency. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, my brother, Prince Osita Anemeka, Your Excellencies, Your Highnesses, distinguished members of this forum. It is with all solemnity and responsibility that I inaugurate the new chapters of the YOUTHGETHER Global from different parts of Africa and the world. Let me say that you bear great responsibilities in ensuring that your tasks and mandates are performed, especially in a world that is challenged by the COVID-19 outbreak. As such, your constant presence of mind is required in attending to your duties and responsibilities, not only at home, in the workplace or in school, but also in the work of the YOUTHGETHER Global. I now have the pleasure and the privilege to inaugurate you and declare you all part of this exciting global initiative. May God bless you all and preserve you. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
So welcome and congratulations to our newly inaugurated chapters as we wait for Prince Dr. Osita's network connection
country coordinators to share your in-the-country director for. Okay. Go ahead, Ambassador.
And also thank you very much, Your Excellency, Ambassador Usman Sarki, for inaugurating our YOUTHGETHER Global Liberia, led by Manfred Moba. Thank you for inaugurating YOUTHGETHER Global Zambia, led by Godwin Mwinga. Thank you for inaugurating YOUTHGETHER Global Nigeria, led by Issa bin Mohammed, and YOUTHGETHER Global UK, led by Ino Ibas. Thank you very much. We are very grateful for your time and your kind impact with us here. Over to you, Dr. Osita. I think that I heard you wanted each of the YOUTHGETHER Global leaders to speak.
Yes, it is their time to release their mission statements.
It's time for you to release your vision statement.
Mission statements for the different countries, yes. They're starting with Nigeria. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the next session that is going to be moderated by the very abled YOUTHGETHER Global Governing Council member, Mary Kurek. And so I am going to bring her in to moderate this. And we're going to start, Mary, with YOUTHGETHER Global Nigeria, led by Issa bin Mohammed. If we can have you on video, please. Over to you, Mary. Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Ambassador. So let's have some conversation here, and let's start with Issa. If you will unmute yourself and share your comments for the future. Appreciate that.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. Let me start like this, right? The chairman and the chancellor of the governing council of this great initiative, all council members, all advisors here present, old and new country coordinators of YOUTHGETHER Global, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks a new beginning for Africa and indeed the global youth community. As we have seen that concerned global citizens decided to take matters into their hands to come up with this very global youth community initiative. As we have seen that concerned global citizens decided to take matters into their hands to come up with this very global youth community initiative. As we have seen that concerned global citizens decided to take matters into their hands to come up with this very Today's 1 year anniversary of YOUTHGETHER themed around technology and ICT education for the girl child is evident of the progressive nature of this initiative. The YOUTHGETHER project is a timely one, as I have often argued in many fora, that the greatest threat, now bringing it back home to my country, Nigeria, and her development is the youth, and not as many people would argue that it is corruption or bad leadership. As no state imports leaders from elsewhere, of course, leaders are always from our communities. Nigerian youth, all the Nigerian youth, who continue to enjoy a very troubled, dysfunctional society, a battered educational system that has, of course, indeed toyed and done considerable damage to our psyche, and a state that has allowed her greatest asset to fend for themselves rather than provide them with guidance. Indeed, the responsibility of the state to the child has now become third class, as other counterproductive programs are engineered personal economy. Unfortunately for the Nigerian youth, enhanced, of course, by religious bigotry, ethnic sentiment, tribalism, nepotism, and the more destructive tendencies of politics, the Nigerian youth is today more divided than at any time in our over 160 years, over 61 years history rather. The youth have been unable to come together to form a common front to organize and take their country back from these conservative old guards, apologies, who have refused to grow with current trends and who want to maintain a conservative clientelist and patriarchal gerontocracy. This is where YOUTHGETHER Global becomes a gold mine. As an initiative strengthened by the resolve to lead and mainstream the global youth population to join in nation building and in creating the opportunity and foundation to support them in their quest for nation building. We are the Nigerian chapter, having agreed to follow and mainstream the pre-designed programs of YOUTHGETHER by the Center for SDG Global Education US and our partners, and guided, of course, by the 4 E's of empowerment, exchange, education, and entrepreneurship. We also realize that in order to meet regional and specific country peculiarities, we will be working with the Governing Council to evolve and develop country-specific programs and projects that will be targeted at meeting our own needs within the context of the vision and the mission of YOUTHGETHER Global. We are the Nigerian chapter, and indeed the inaugural team, want to appreciate the Governing Council for finding us worthy and for providing the platform for us to begin to walk the talk rather than be on the bench seeking change while still folding our hands. We hope that together we can contribute our quota to bring a sustainable future to young people around the world as a community committed to helping youths become better and more responsible members of their countries. Thank you all for listening.
We need to finish up so that we can move to the next. Okay. You just finish one more line, if you will.
He's done.
Oh, is he done? Okay, perfect. All right, thank you so much. That was very eloquent and well said. I see Manfred in front of me. So Manfred, if you have a comment or so to share with us. Manfred, you're on mute.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, so once again, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity, and we work together to see how best we can improve and engage with youth in Africa. And for my mission, firstly, I would love to engage in science education with the youth across Liberia and the globe. And we also get into a visual and online learning platform that will improve and enlighten youths across the globe. And we solicit funds and other things that we can have more support in providing scholarship for youth, both local and international, that will encourage and improve the youth capability and strength. And to partner with other chapters to have a series of couple of activities that have to do with sports, gaming, and other things that probably Liberia can go to Nigeria, Nigeria go to Kenya, and other partners can work together. Other chapters work firmly together in reaching out and meeting the Sustainable Development Goals and the entire aim and objective of YOUTHGETHER Global. And also to work collaboratively with each and every coordinators across Africa. Because like I said earlier on, Africa can only move if we all can join hands in working together. Let's take, for example, if I had a program here in Liberia and in fact like 2-3 chapters, each of those chapters going to bring out their members, and we're going to work out things that people are going to be excited about, of which can also encourage other youth to join us as well. Because there are some, most especially in Africa, people don't get to work something except something is then done, or something is gearing or working out them to work out. Because this continent, people in this continent need serious education about their own improvements. Because if you just sit, there are now a day that students are now involved into critical thinking, innovation. These are all things that youth should be involved with. Once you are involved into these things, because the whole wide world right now is turning to technology and industries. So that means once we understand the perspective of these things, we get to know the dynamics of changing our continent, changing our community, changing our environment, and changing the entire world. So that will be so excellent as we work together at YOUTHGETHER Global. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manfred. Appreciate that. Very well said. We have Godwin with us from Zambia. So Godwin, would you like to share a few comments of moving forward with YouthGether. Godwin, you're on mute.
Are you able to get me now? Able to get me now?
Yes, yes. Yes, sir, we can hear
okay.
you.
All right, thank you. Okay. Yeah, you can get me now. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for allowing me. Actually, also give me actually this opportunity to be part of Youth Global as a country coordinator for Zambia. Actually, we could actually line up a lot of things which we can gather youth from all different parts of Zambia, from provinces, from different towns, that actually we work together in having actually one core value on Youth Global Zambia. Actually, this is a very exciting and to us as Zambia. So actually, we try to promote more and give more opportunity to the youth in Zambia and across Africa at large. I'm very excited about this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Godwin. Beautiful. We have, I believe, Eno Ibis. Is Eno where he could be on camera? Do we know, or can we get him?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello, can you come on camera?
On camera, yes.
We are not seeing you.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Bear with me a moment, please. Bear with me a moment. Can you see me now?
I can't see you because we need to spot you out.
There we go.
Oh, okay, okay. How about now?
Okay.
Hello?
There we go. Yes.
Okay, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that new laptop. So the settings and everything have been, well, a challenge of late.
That's all
Good
right.
afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, so my name is Eno Ibas. I'm the coordinator for the United Kingdom. And this past year, being a participator of the, first of all, I want to say thank you and good afternoon to my fellow coordinators. I want to say thank you to the head council, the head panel, those at the head of the panel. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on here. My name is Eno Ibas and I am the head coordinator of the United Kingdom. This past year, being a member of the, being a coordinator has been interesting, trying to gather up fellow participants and the like, especially coupled during this very dire time with the COVID period has been very interesting. We have created a community here, a community of Africans, a community of a global community around this platform, around this institution, and it is a great honor, to be on here to participate with you all, and I look forward to doing much more going ahead. And yes, I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity.
Wonderful. Thanks to all of you so far. This has just been fantastic. We appreciate all the efforts and the good spirits and the good passion that's going forward. So I would like to turn this back over to Her Excellency Ambassador Diana Kennelly.
Thank you so much, Mary, for a wonderfully moderated session. Welcome once again, YouthGether Global Nigeria. Welcome, YouthGether Global Liberia. Welcome, YouthGether Global Zambia. And welcome, YouthGether Global, the United Kingdom. My co-moderator, rapporteur, get ready. I'm bringing you back in. So.
Why?
Welcome. Just to have a quick reset of the room so that we can move on to the next session. How amazing to have 4 new leaders and 4 new countries inaugurated. How amazing is that? There were 2 things that I picked up from what they shared, so I'm just going to throw them out to you really quick and we'll get some 60 seconds around it. Number 1, from what was shared, this is what came up for me. In every complaint, there is a request. In every complaint, there is a request. So it might be that we, those that you're seeing leading now and that have led before have not done as well as they should have. So here's a better way I want to recommend. How can you develop yourself to become a better leader so that you can move things forward? The second thing that I wanted to share is that in this age of information, your ignorance and lack of talent development is your decision. It's your decision. There's so many ways you can develop yourself, but with being part of the YOUTHGETHER global community vision and mission, familiarize yourself once again, those that have newly joined, on the vision, mission, and the values, and then also get to be part of the events that we bring across. 60 seconds to hear from you, Princess Shepi.
This is the question for me as well.
No, just what your your thinking is now that we have heard from each of our 4 leaders from Nigeria, Liberia, Zambia, and the UK on what they are going to be doing moving forward.
Right. So now we need to know how can they develop themselves so that they are how please rephrase this so that I can gather my
word of encouragement.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What I would like to say, I'm also gonna really piggyback on what you've said. In everything that we are doing, our chancellor, our boss has already said so. It takes a lot of volunteering, a lot of sacrifice and commitment, which also is not only on YOUTHGETHER. In leadership journey, that's what it takes. As leaders at every given point, you are really sacrificing so much. It takes sweat and blood, and that it takes boldness, and it is going to take so much from you. So we need you, the muscles that you have, we need them to also be in your heart, in your mind, and the kindness and the forbearance to bring that on the table. That is from me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And now we're going to invite our very special guest, Dr. Mairo Mandara. Dr. Mairo, you are welcome, and thank you for being here with us as you lead us in the topic, Girls in Youth Age and Digital World, ushering in the Day of the Girl Child. You are welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me to be part of your discussions, and I've really learned a lot, and I love the idea of what you said, Dr. Diana, around not knowing. It's your choice not to know. It's your choice not to be empowered. It's your choice not to be not to be there, because there are lots of opportunities. And that brings to the theme of this year's International Day of the Girl Child, which discusses around opportunities in digital, in the digital world. You know, as they say, in every bad situation, there's a silver lining. Even in COVID, there was a silver lining. It brought to fore a number of advantages. It brought to fore a number of opportunities, particularly for young people that were there, but we did not realize how significant they are. One of which is the digital opportunity. Now, as we celebrate the International Day of the Girl Child in 2021, we need to bear in mind some important issues, particularly in Africa, that we need to address if we are going to move with the ages and if we're going to move with the world. The first is that the future absolutely belongs to you guys. You form more than 65% of the population of Africa. The young are you have the largest number of young people. So, and therefore the future is what you decide, which means that we've passed a time where we will cry around our leaders are not doing the right thing, our leaders are this and that, because you are the leaders. You're not the future, you're today and your future and your everything. So I'd want to urge you to actually take the opportunity. The second is with the opportunity of digital literacy and digital economy. Each one of you can be a billionaire if you choose to be in the comfort of your room. If you work hard, you look at the opportunities, and you look at what is that unique thing that only you are good at, or where you are the best. You might be the best sweeper. You might be the best singer. You might be, not all of you are cut to be doctors or nurses or some professionals. Some are best public speakers. Some are just the best and the kindest person God ever created. What do you do with those assets? And those assets are no longer belonging to you and your community and your village. With the opportunities of the digital world, these opportunities, these blessings that you have, these strengths that you have, is there for the world. So it's only left for you to choose what you do about that. As an ambassador for Africa, as a person leading because everybody's an ambassador, I've made myself an ambassador. So as a person leading the advocacy for keeping girls in school in Africa, I think we need to be cognizant of the fact that there's just no way young people will succeed if you leave the girls behind. Young girls are 50% of you. If you leave them behind, you'll only be 50% strong. But if you come along with your girls, you'll be 200% strong. Because bringing along girls or holding along or having the girls lead or having girls on the table as equal beings, as equal partners with the same brain and sometimes actually better acumen, it will make you much stronger. But bringing women and girls on the table as we look at the 21st and the future for you guys is not bringing a female, is bringing the whole future, because many of them are going to be mothers, many of them are sisters, many of them are aunts, many of them are friends to many young men. So as you move into the future, as you think of what you do in the different countries, always remember, you simply cannot do it alone. The girls have to be there. The young women have to be there. And the girls and the young women have to hold as many leadership positions as possible. Not only treasurers, not only director of, director of events. She should be president of the organization and a talented young man, a vice president. Equal opportunities as you move forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge you, let your generations be much better than our generation. Show us the path and we will follow. If you wait for you to give you opportunities, it's not human. We're not going to give you. You've got to stand up, be better than us, and grab it. And if you're not as good as us, it's going to be very difficult for you to grab it from us. If you're equal to us, we'll have wisdom and age. We'll still keep it. But you've got to be smarter. You've got to be more savvy. So you've got to be better than us. And then take it, and we will follow you. So good luck in all that you plan to do. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Mairo Mandara. What wonderful insight. And we really appreciate you and are so grateful to His Excellency Ambassador Usman for letting us know that we needed to have you in this event. So thank you so much for your words. I love that you said that having women and as well will bring wisdom for us. And I just want to say thank you so much for that. We are looking forward to Monday's event, but thank you for really bringing it to our minds, just the amount of value there is when we have a lot of balance in our thinking and in our leadership as well. Thank you. So I am going to put my co-moderator again on the spot as I've been doing. So here we go. Princess Shepi, are you ready?
As I can be, I'm all yours,
Awesome,
madam.
awesome. So quick 60 seconds on that last amazing session with Dr. Mairo Mandara. I didn't want to say a lot. I wanted us to just quickly go over it. 60 seconds for you, 60 seconds for me before our next sessions.
Right. I like what you said. Wisdom, that is the truth. Not that we are being segregational. Wisdom, it is the truth. Action-packed. We are people that are proactive. We are people that are very, we don't do well in meetings and meetings and meetings. That's not us. You give it to Dr. Osita, he will do well with his team. But us, we are action. And even if we do it wrong, but something will be done. Action-packed, awesome. Wisdom, and also collaboration. The sustainable goal number 17, it cannot leave women and girls out, because that is where the well of that bringing together is. That is why the churches, 90% of the churches are filled with women, and actually they move. Whether they move in right or wrong, but the fact is they will move and they will shift things. Even here in Africa, many things have been said, even in the ancient days. It was our queens, it was our mothers that were behind our kings, behind our fathers. We say here, there's a saying here in Africa, in South Africa, in my language, to say that Musadi utwara tipa ka bohaling, a mother holds the knife where it is sharp, at the sharp end. We are just like that. We're courageous people, bold people. Thank you so much. That's it.
Love it, love it, love it. I like that. I like that. We should have that written out. Say it again. Yes. A mother holds the knife.
Holds the knife.
Yeah.
Where it is sharp edge. So at the sharp end.
Okay.
Musadi utwara tipa ka bohaling.
Awesome. Amazing. I like what you said. So leaving no one behind is not just a literal tagline. Yep. It's time to make that a reality. And it is, and I also like what Dr. Mairo said with regards to don't just give them a director of events.
Absolutely.
Right? Let us bring forth what is absolutely best within us and look for that in both men and women, in young ladies and young men, because that is what is going to move us forward. Something else, and this is a fact, this is not me just saying it, in the global pandemic, nations that were led by women managed it very well. We must never ignore that. And there is a lot that the world is learning from that. Okay, awesome. Sesotho proverb. Yes, a mother holds the knife at the sharp end. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So I want to say thank you to you before we hand over to the next sessions. Thank you to you for being an amazing co-moderator, being called on at any time, not knowing what I will ask you. But thank you for just coming in and making this wonderful experience. Again, thank you to everyone for coming to be with us at this 1-year anniversary. Do not go anywhere, because our wonderful YouthGether Global leader, visionary, ambassador, chancellor is going to come and speak with us. But then just from myself and also on behalf of Princess Shepi, just to say yes, as she lifts up her hand. Yes.
Before, so that when you wrap up for both of us, I've got just one word that I want to leave for our new coordinators, our new chapters. Just like what we have, submission is important. As we can see that they are all men, may they take example from Dr. Osita to submit under a woman leadership.
Yes.
And we know that is a new wave. This is the new way of doing things in the Africa that we want. So may they take example from that and submit, and not be argumentative and you're seeking to be, when the instruction is issued, let it be qualified because we are men. And so that is what I would like to say.
Yeah, and maybe what we need to ask them to do is to find women who can lead, young women who can lead, and to make room for them as well. Let's see that happen over the next 1 year period of time. But let us not take too much time, and let us hand over to
thank you,
our leader, YouthGether Global Visionaire, YouthGether Global Chancellor, who is going to give us the vision, mandate, and YouthGether Global Next Level with view of the YouthGether Global mandate to all the chapters that we have so far. Also to say a very big thank you to all the nations that have come for this event. We recognize you, South Africa, we recognize you, Nigeria, we recognize you, Kenya, we recognize you, USA, we recognize you, Uganda, we recognize you, Germany, we recognize you, Liberia, the UK, Belize, and Zambia. Thank you for being a part of this. We are so glad to have had you here. And now over to you, Chancellor Dr. Ada Juni Okika. And right after you, we will have Dr. Osita with the closing remarks. Over to you, ma'am.
Wow, what a day. Thank you, Your Excellency, Ambassador Diana. I don't think any other person would have done this much better than you and Princess JP. It's wonderful coordination, making the event to flow accordingly. I am also pleased with the new chapter coordinators. One interesting thing that you guys forgot is that most of them are teachers, educators, and including those who have been inaugurated. So there is something deep with being a teacher. And being a teacher, being a coordinator is a plus to what we are doing at YouthGether Global, because everything we are doing is revolved on 4 E's: education, empowerment, exchange, and entrepreneur, and all revolves on teaching and educating. So I want to congratulate you guys for accepting to get involved in this volunteering assignment. I'm also very glad that we are able to hear from Dr. Mairo Mandara, who is an ambassador and international advocate for the girl child. You see, when you have passion to do something, your spirit is always agitated, to do something. She was approached to speak on Monday, but because she is very much involved at the global level on things of the girl child and have various programs on the girl's child, she opted to be here with us today. That is the spirit we are talking about. We are talking about the spirit of positiveness and not spirit of negativeness. So this is a plus to you coordinators, that at any point in time, adopt the spirit of positiveness. And that is what we want to achieve. We want the spirit to be inculcated in the young adults of the world. So I want to thank you again. In the next 1 year, we are happy birthday to us. Before I go to say happy birthday to YOUTHGETHER, happy birthday to YOUTHGETHER, happy birthday to YOUTHGETHER Global, happy birthday to us. I think it's a very important event. As we are now growing into our second year, we are moving into what I call consolidation. We need to consolidate all we have put together. Our chair has mentioned a lot of things we've done within this 1 year. Some of them were trials, some of them were confirmed events, but right now from this point on is consolidation. We need to consolidate all. And then consolidating it and replanting them in various country chapters to get youth on board to each of them. One of our missions when we launched this last is that we are on a 1 million youth drive across the world. So by consolidating those programs, we want to get more youth involved. Getting more youth involved is helping them to redefine themselves. We see what is happening in most parts of the world today. Youth are being used negatively. The girls are being used negatively. The boys are being used negatively. But when we help the youth to reposition themselves, then they will be able to understand the importance of their creation and the importance of their human development to the national or the global development. So this is very, very important. But one thing I want to address in this is the youth, the leaders that we have just appointed. One, YOUTHGETHER Global is not a money begging group. Please don't beg for money from anybody. We are intelligent that we can use our brains to make something from nothing. Let us not be beggars, but rather let our work identify us for positive resources. Secondly, we are not anti-government. Don't group to antagonize government. If you do that, I deny you. Don't antagonize any government. We are working, trying to make a contribution to national development by our platform. That is what, by the time we put you together, helping them to be more responsible citizens, helping them to help to do something for the community, we are helping government. We are not antagonizing government. We are not violence, so we don't have to carry gun. Don't shoot anybody. Don't involve in anyone that involved, and we know we remove that person. We don't want a situation because we are into the development agenda of the United Nations, and we can never be a party to any anti-government. Again, we are not political group. None of us, this YOUTHGETHER Global is not going to be used as a political party. It's a youth educational forum. We are interested in helping youth get to education, redefine their future, have a sustainable end to your life, identify your inherent skills and talents, and be able to help your community. If you have opportunity to get information about scholarships, international programs, education, universities, and everything, we are informing you. But please don't do anything that is not in line with the mission of YOUTHGETHER Global. Our board chair has been able to educate some of you on this leadership. We want you guys to get on board. We want to establish a relationship. The group in the chapter in UK can acclimatize with Sierra Leone, with Nigeria, with Zambia or any other country. Right now, I don't know much about Zambia. I'm beginning to have friends from Zambia. If I happen to find myself in Zambia, the first person I'm going to inform that I'm coming to Zambia is the YOUTHGETHER Global National Coordinator. Okay, so this is what we are trying to get ourselves. There are opportunities in the global community, but we need someone to plug you in. So please let us use our exchange, peers influence, peer relationship, exchange education programs, networking with each other, conversing with each other. We don't have any power to go to social media to write anything that is not positive to development. Please don't go to the media and use any word, any raw word. Please, we want to be model. We want to be models to the younger generation. Just as people, you have seen, I've had all of you, the new coordinators, you are interested what you have seen, even the former, the old coordinator, the old inaugurated coordinators. You have spoken how excited you are because we are sanity. We have a standard. We have a policy. We want to maintain an integrity. I don't want us to destroy our integrity. The members of governing council are men and women of integrity. So we don't want, yes, I call them excellency, ambassadors, doctors. We don't want anything, princesses and princes, nothing will tarnish their image. So we don't want to get involved with what is not necessary. So please be guided accordingly. Take your time to study the policies of YOUTHGETHER Global. Design your programs and then reach out to the governing council chair to advise you and guide you how to effect them. If you have to reach any part of government, the letter has to come from the YOUTHGETHER Governing Council Secretariat. You shouldn't be the one to draft the letter because we need to know what you are taking to the government. So please let us face what we need to do. Our agenda is very much rooted on the agenda of the work of United Nations Decade of Action. And we are looking at everything that we can do using the YOUTHGETHER platform for youth, boys and girls, young adults, to make a commitment in our environment. And there are so much to do. There are so much to do. Very soon in the year, you'll be told which aspect of the missions of YOUTHGETHER Global that each country will follow, will focus, each chapter will focus. We are not going to focus on everything because if we do, we'll not be able to meet up with those targets we have. So we have to align each one to a particular, take for instance, we might align the issue about the girl child to South Africa, the issue about skill enter to another country, another chapter, and so on and so forth. So that we can be able to have a widespread of YOUTHGETHER mission distribution and be able to actualize outcome and gains to what we tend to achieve. So the future is so bright, and all we need, as we have heard from our guest speakers, our advisors, is your commitment, your steadfastness, your volunteerism, and your integrity. It matters a lot. And mind you that as you are doing all those things, we are all educating each other. And I want to let you know from the presentation of His Excellency, our advisor, Ambassador Saki, said, despite the seeming resilience and persistence of the pandemic, the world is turning the curve and making strenuous efforts at overcoming the global threat. Youth will play a critical role in this initiative, particularly at the community levels. Their compliance with regulations and protocols are imperative. Young people in the medical and scientific community are also helping to redefine the word commitment in terms of sacrifices that they have been called upon. Both in regards to their time. So it is very, very important that we address these issues to help us achieve the decade of action and also improve our future. So I encourage you, I thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of us. And to all the members of the Governing Council, I said, bravo, and let's keep on. Let's keep on the fight. The battle has just started, and the journey is still continuing. Our gas has not finished. Please, Dr. Osita, refuel our vehicle for our journey to keep moving. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Madam Chancellor. This is the part of you that I admire so much, your willingness to let your verdant zeal lead us. And I want to thank you all over again for one whole year of work. I know that you've not slept since yesterday. Sorry, I have to tell the world that you've not had a wink of sleep because I've been with you for the hours that are counting to now. As you look at my screen now, you can see that I just lost power. I have lost power in my office for the 5th time. So now that we're closing, I'm happy that I can say thank you to quite a number of persons. But before then, let me say that all coordinators, old and new, shall be involved in a series of training programs, and the schedule will be announced within the week next week. BOT, the Board of Trustees of YOUTHGETHER Global, has recognized and crowned YOUTHGETHER Global Sierra Leone, even though they are not here today, as the most performing chapter in the group globally, because they have done marvelously well. We'll be able to reel out all what they have done and then share their certificates with you and many other things that come with this qualification. Let me very kindly thank His Excellency Ambassador Osman Sarki, Her Excellency Dr. Mairo Mandara, working with her, I can tell you, Her Excellency in Kosasana, Shepi Matlang, my sister in the south, Liberia's Manfred, Nigeria's Issa, UK's Enon, Zambia's Godwin, and also our hearts goes to South Sudan, Deng Daniel, who couldn't be here because he just had to deal with family at this time. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, as I invite Her Excellency to please help us with one of those. Thank you so much. Video, Your Excellency. Can everybody come on screen for photograph, please, before the video plays? Can everybody come on stream, please? Be on camera for the photos before the video plays. Let's have everybody on gallery. Everybody, please. Godwin Mwinga, it's so dark where you are. Ibas, your face, please. Nigerian Isa, can we have you on a clearer video, please? Can we have you on a clearer video, please? Well,
Let us know when to smile.
Please, cheese. Everybody say cheese. And as we close, I will invite Her Excellency again to please. Okay.
Hey, are we leaving? Yes.
Did we lose Dr. Osita? Ambassador Dinah? Dr. Ada?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, yes. I can hear you, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, what I was saying is that, is that a goodbye so that you can end it well and switch off instead of the silence?
Okay, is Dr. Oster off? The battery must have been done.
I think so. Shall we close so that...
Where is Ambassador Diane? Can you please do it? I can't talk because if I talk, the echo is on because of the YouTube. My other phone is dead. Ambassador Diane, can you close, please? Princess, can you close?
Yes, thank you very much to on behalf of our Governing Council, our Chancellor, and on behalf of all our speakers and participants, we would like to say thank you very much to everybody who has made time to be with us today. And we say happy, happy, happy birthday, happy anniversary. We look forward to seeing you on Monday, where we will be celebrating the Day of a Girl Child. We are going to have powerful speakers, including our young girls. They are going to be on the platform. So may we see you, and to do please come back. Even now we say thank you so much. From South Africa, the city of gold, Gauteng, our province, the province of all nations, I would like to say adios. Thank you so much. Good night.
Simbona wasn't needed, and painless